I know it's been quite a while, but I'm back with another episode of Tin Hat Connections, or as I will likely be calling it from now on, THC. Yes, I'm well aware of what I did. Today's episode is about Nostradamus, a 16th century astrologer and physician who claimed to have visions of the future. He used a method of divination called scrying. I've tried this myself a few times, but from the horror stories I've read, I think I've scared myself off of actually seeing anything. I'm pretty sure anyone watching this has heard at least a passing mention of this man, so I won't go too much into his backstory. Some of his predictions were interestingly close to things that have happened. At the time that he saw them, they were centuries after his death. I'm partially skeptical, though. As someone who has had some really weird visions myself, I do believe he saw things. However, I've never been able to control what or when. I have had weird little dreams of things that will happen in the next day. It usually happens in threes. I've had very serious ones, and there are key images I can usually decipher, but that's a very heavy topic for another video. Most of them have been meaningless and could just be weird coincidences. For example, I dreamed one night that my phone died while I was out. For me, that was really unusual because it was the age in which cell phones were bricks, and I didn't use it except to make quick calls. Lo and behold, I was out the next day, a trip not planned previously, and my phone died. The next night, I dreamed of a shuttle launch. Yes, a shuttle with people, and hadn't heard of it, and I woke the next morning to my dad telling me to get up or I'd miss the shuttle launch. And the very next night, I dreamed of riding in the car with my grandmother and being told there was a book for me in the back seat, a Japanese to English dictionary, because I was trying to learn Japanese at the time. The next day, when she picked me up from school, there was a Japanese to English dictionary in the back seat. I could make a whole hour-long video talking about my paranormal experiences. About the only thing I haven't personally experienced are Bigfoot, aliens, and angels. But to return to the topic, there was a lot of sensationalism around him, and the story says that he predicted his own death and exhumation, which his skull was dug up and used to drink from. Much like the story of Atlantis, I was endlessly fascinated by this man growing up. Unfortunately, it's been years since I last read anything, so memories are foggy. He wrote in quatrains, a type of poetry, because at the time, he was being threatened by the Catholic Church with heresy for being a witch. Because of this, a lot of his predictions are vague at best, and some of them people have even taken leaps to say that they were accurate. The most famous of them, to my knowledge, being the one about Hitler. I copied this from the website linked below. Wild men, ferocious with anger, cross over rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hitler. In armor of steel, the great army will make the assault, when the child of Germany shall heed no one. In my personal opinion, this is fascinating, but reaching. If there was nothing that closely resembled the name, I may have been less critical of this. But to me, it seems as though people have translated it to their own understanding. I'm not saying it isn't possible, I just don't necessarily believe this particular one. Also, he has had quatrains attributed to him that had been made up. The best example of this is the iron birds that ended up being made up after 9/11 to make it look as though he had predicted it. Taken from the website below. 2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis. The sky will burn at 45 degrees latitude. Fire approaches the great new city. Immediately, a huge scattered flame leaps up. Within months, rivers will flow with blood. The undead will roam the earth for a little time. That being said, I find the most interesting predictions the ones he made about the king being killed in a joust, and all but one of the queen's children dying before her. In short, I honestly believe that he had visions, and some of them may have even been events far past his own demise. However, I also feel that a lot of them were from his own mind that people sometimes try too hard to fit into events. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and maybe even a comment. If you have suggestions for any videos you'd like me to do on strange topics, feel free to leave a comment. I am a full-time worker, part-time struggling artist, so also please check out my links below. Until next time!